Hello all, welcome back to Train of Thoughts. My name's Trey, and this is where I share my thoughts on the Winnipeg Jets, Jets. Earlier today, the Jets took down the Anaheim Not So Mighty Ducks 3-2. Gritty game, kind of typical Jet style. It was a 1-1 tie after the first period. But after the game, a lot of the chatter was how they did not like their first period, had to grit through it. Nikolai Ehlers talked a lot about that. And they had a 2-1 lead after the second period, and then tie game late in the game, about 5 minutes or so left, and Mark Scheifele buried a power play goal to be the game winner. So a nice 3-2 win. Also a game where they're coming back off the road, and some of those games are games that Paul Maurice says that he's concerned about. And in the games that he has been concerned about lately, they are 2-0-1, 5-0 to 6 points in those games. So they have definitely responded in those games. So I'm going to give a huge credit to the guys for stepping up and executing on the ice and fighting through and making it happen. I'm also going to give a huge credit to the coaching staff for their preparation in looking ahead and seeing, you know what, I'm concerned about this game. And then getting the message across to the guys and getting them prepared to fight through that. So this team has been awesome this year. You might say that they have. Some people might say that this team has overachieved this year, but so be it. I think that the Jets have earned where they are at after 30 games in the season. Another thing I want to talk about with that, I'll get into more stats on the game, but as it sits right now, the Jets, terrible, awful, no good. Who's even on their defense? Where's Bufflin? Where's Trouba? Where's Myers? Where's Sherrod? How come their D-man can't stay healthy? They're going to get exposed eventually, right? They're 9th in the league. 9th. Out of 31 teams. So not only are they in the top third of the league, but I know we're only 30 games in. That's, a little over a third of the way through the season. But last year, I think they were the 15th or 16th ranked defense in the NHL. And everyone's going, oh man, the Jets defense lost so much. They weren't even that good last year, with all due respect. Man, did they have some awful third periods last year. So I just want to say that's my little rant, if you want to call that, because when I said terrible, awful, no good defense, that was obviously sarcasm if you didn't get that, because this defense has been solid. They work hard. That's the number one thing that Paul Maurice says about this defense, especially about the team. The stay in the fight mantra. I don't know if they took that from the Washington Nationals, from their World Series run, but stay in the fight has been the motto of this team, and Paul Maurice said it a ton, and now he's kind of stopped saying it, but at every press conference someone is saying, hey, something like some reporters saying something about staying in the fight. So that has been the motto of this team, and they have really fit that mold so far. So getting into the game, I mentioned Mark Scheifele. He got 2 goals to get to today. He bookended the scoring for the Jets. He scored the first goal and the last goal. The second one, as I mentioned, was on the power play. The Jets were 1 for 4 on the power play today, and that was the 2 goals brought his total to 13, which he is now tied with Nick Ehlers in goals. And he also leads the team in points with 29. Matthew Perreault was the only other Jet to have double digits, to have a multi-point game to today with 2 assists. He assisted on the first 2 goals of the game, I believe. But he had 2 assists. So Connor Hellebuck, he stopped 31 out of 33 shots. He's been incredible. Well, what can you say? His save percentage was .934 coming into the game. I haven't seen what the updated percentage is, but he's been awesome. So thank you, Connor, for that, and keep it up. I mentioned Jets power play. The Jets penalty kill. They only committed 2 penalties, which is kind of the way that they've been playing. Very disciplined. They've usually been a pretty disciplined team. But they only committed 2 penalties, and they were perfect on their penalty kill today. Or they only gave up 2 shorthanded opportunities, I should say, because Nikolai Ehlers, nice segue in here, he got his point streak. Man, I can't talk tonight. His point streak snapped at 4 games tonight, but he got into a fight in the first period. I mentioned him about how he said he didn't like his first period. He said he was frustrated. He got cross-checked from behind by Ryan Getzlab, and they decided to drop the gloves. And one key thing is that if you see Nick Ehlers, he's not the biggest guy in the world. Ryan Getzlab is 50 pounds, bigger than Nick. So I know that some of the comments after the game were a mix of, man, good on Nick for standing up and fighting, and that was one half, and the second half was, please don't do that again, Nick, or please don't get in a habit. Paul Maurice said, hey, if things happen, I am okay with that. I'm okay with spontaneity, but I don't want this to be Nick Ehlers' game, which I don't think it's going to be, because he's valuable and he is a skill guy, not a fighter. But that was his 3rd fight in the NHL, and apparently he's held up pretty well. So nice job on Nick to kind of stand up and get some energy on the bench. And then one last thing, just regarding stats in the scoring. Adam Lowry got the other Jets goal. He scored that late in the second period to give the Jets a 2-1 lead. Shots tonight were deadlocked at 33. Face-offs, they were deadlocked at 50-50 for each team. So a pretty tight game. But a nice gritty effort by the Jets. So now the Jets will have a day in between the next game when they face Detroit for the start of a home and home with them. So thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you like this video, smash that like button. If you really like this video, smash that subscribe button. So thanks. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening or wonderful time whenever you watch this, and I will talk to you later.